Yo, what is good, YouTube? Christian checking back in with another video. First things first, big shout out to you guys. You guys have been liking, commenting, and subbing on the channel. The channel is growing at a very fast rate. I need you guys to keep doing what you're doing, keep subbing and commenting, and I'll keep putting out good content, man. So, first thing we're going to talk about today is Lucas Coelho, who is a 212 athlete. I haven't mentioned on the channel yet, and I don't think I've seen anyone else mention him. He won the Portugal Pro this year, also known as the Mr. Big Evolution event, and he is qualified for the Mr. Olympia, and he will be going there to compete in the 212 division. So he looks like a very amazing athlete. I haven't seen him compete other than Portugal, and I recently started following him, and he has an amazing physique, man, and I'm surprised no one isn't talking about him because I'm pretty sure he can do pretty well at the Mr. Olympia. It's always hard to place these new athletes because they look good on Instagram, but we haven't actually seen them on stage with some of these guys. But for me, looking at his physique, man, I think he could do pretty well at the Mr. Olympia, probably place around top 6. But like I said, I won't know for sure until he gets on stage and stands next to some of these guys, man. You have to give the veterans credit. Just because someone looks good, it's kind of disrespectful to the athletes that have been working to just assume that they're going to come in and beat them. He very well could, but we have to see him on stage and give him a fair comparison, man. And that 212 is going to be very interesting this year with Keon Pearson. Sean Clarita more motivated after the passing of his coach, John Meadows. And Kamal El-Gardner also fired up and ready to get that 212 title back, man. So I'm really excited for the Olympia this year, not only the Open, but as well as the 212 division. And I want to see what Lucas is going to bring to the stage, man. I think he's going to be a very serious threat. If not this year, definitely in the future, man. So Lucas Coelho, you guys look into this guy, man. Follow him on Instagram. He has a crazy physique. All right, and in our next update of the day, we're going to be looking at an update from Chris Bumstead. And Chris actually posted a very long caption with this. I'm not going to post it and read it all the way through, but he was basically just saying he's come a long way from where he started as a broke college student competing in bodybuilding up to where he is now. And, man, I really love Chris because he's just so humble, and I just love his mindset, man. He always keeps working. He isn't cocky. He's like a true champion. He has a champion mindset. You got to go out and earn it. Once the show is done and over, I mean, you won, but he's already looking at the next show. You got to go out and work for it. You got to go out and earn it, and that's a true champ mindset, man. And next, we're going to look at an update from Breon and Ansley. And Breon looks great, of course, but, man, he's starting to kind of worry me like last year. I feel like Breon, honestly, is killing himself to make this weight limit for the Classic Physique division. But I don't think he's a 212 athlete. I think Classic should just have a higher weight cap for the heights, in my personal opinion. But Breon does look great, man. But I think we're about 7 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia. It looks like he's already pushing himself pretty hard. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be ready before 7 weeks, which he usually always is. But I don't want Breon to get ready 2 to 3 weeks out and then have the same problem of coming in maybe flat or having to lose so much muscle that he isn't at his best. Because if Breon burns out, he's not gonna be able to beat Chris Bumstead unless he brings his best, in all honesty. And I want Breon Ansley to win. That's why I'm so critical upon him. But hopefully Breon is able to nail it this year. If he comes in ready at 3 or 4 weeks, hopefully he slows it down a bit and cruises into the competition. Because I really want to see the best Breon Ansley this year. If he doesn't place first or second, I'm not too sure what he does, but hopefully Breon is able to come in at 100% at this Olympia. All right, and next we have an update from our 15th Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry. And Brandon's rocking the old beard, man. He's trying to pull a Dexter. These young guys are going to see Brandon with this beard and feel like he's getting old, and yeah, we can sneak in and get him this year. We can get into that top 3, that top 4. Brandon is going to shave this beard around the Olympia time and look incredible, man. This is going to be a very special year for Brandon. Brandon is one of those athletes that just constantly improves every single year. And with him being out in oxygen gyms away from his family, I know he's working even harder, man. He has 3 kids back at home, and he's definitely not going to let them down. So I'm excited to see what Brandon brings this year. Look like he's improved his legs some, so he should be able to stand better with some of these guys. Honestly, on paper, his only threat is Big Ramy, and we'll just have to see on the day of, man. Anybody can be anybody. If you come in undeniable, then, hey, I always say Sean Clarita, Sean Clarita competed around 170, 180 pounds in the 212 division. Ain't won a division just because he came in undeniable. In our next update, we have a couple of updates from Hunter Labrada, who usually keeps us posted with the weekly updates. And with us seeing Ian Valera win these past two shows, seeing Phil Klahar as well as Steve Kuklo, I want to know, how do you guys feel about the Hunter versus Ian friendly beef? You guys know it's 1-1 right now. I believe Hunter beat Ian last year in Tampa, and Ian placed 7th at the Mr. Olympia, and Hunter placed 8th. In my personal opinion, I think Ian has made a lot of improvements, and I don't think Hunter is going to be able to beat Ian this year. Now, Hunter has plenty of potential with his structure and genetics, of course, but I just feel like Hunter needs to add a little more thickness to the mid and the bottom area of his back. Also, as I've seen a couple other people say, Hunter seems like he looks a little better right before the stage. So he's not off on stage, but he's not nailing his peak to the T, I would say. And he even admitted that he did it better this year in Chicago, but he admitted that last year at the Mr. Olympia, he didn't nail his peak to the T. So he was in shape, but basically what that means for you guys that kind of don't know, around the last, could be within the last week, there are certain things you can do. Hold too much water, don't take enough sodium, not using diuretics, using too many diuretics. There's so many things that can go wrong within the last week of a competition and lead to you not to looking the way that you want to look on stage. Now, Hunter wasn't terribly off, but if you guys look at like maybe a Steve Larius, you'll see how he looked great, but on show day, he just looked like he was a couple of weeks out, which actually he wasn't. He was probably just holding a little bit of water. So, all right, and in our last update of the day, we have a recent physique update from Regan Grimes. And yes, Regan does look bigger than he did last year, but I still think he's going to need to put on a little more size to be competitive with the top guys. Regan is kind of a taller guy, I believe, maybe around 6 feet is what it looks like. So when you're a taller guy, bodybuilding is an illusion. So you have to fill out your frame more and look even bigger to compare with some of the shorter guys. But I'm excited to see what he brings this year, man. He has a very clean and aesthetic physique, and this guy also has a very bright future, man. So that's going to be the video for today, you guys. Hope you like it. I made it as soon as I woke up. I was pumped up to make this video since yesterday. Like, comment, sub. Oh, yeah, it's kind of a little morning voice, too, man. I'm up and I'm making a video, but I just kind of got the morning voice because it is what it is. Hey, man, I'm out.